All right, sit down for a minute, really, sit. Because what we're about to talk about is the kind of idea that creeps into your brain, knocks politely, then kicks the door open and asks, "Hey, are you even in control up there?" Let's get straight to it. Are your thoughts actually yours? You probably want to say yes. You want to believe you're the CEO of your own mind, sitting behind a big mahogany desk making wise decisions all day. But if we're being honest, most days your mind behaves like a browser with 42 tabs open, 3 frozen, 1 auto-playing anxiety, and none of them closed on purpose. If your thoughts were truly yours, explain this. Why do you walk into the kitchen with a mission, then immediately forget why you're there? You marched in like a champion, and your brain just hard crashed like an old laptop. Or this, you lie down to sleep and your brain goes, "Perfect. Let's replay every embarrassing moment since age 9. Really? If this is you being in control, I'd hate to see your mind on autopilot. Thoughts show up whenever they want. They don't knock. They don't announce themselves. They wander in like chaotic guests, sit on your couch, rearrange your emotional furniture, and leave crumbs behind. You don't choose most of them. They appear. Intrusive thoughts? Those are the mental pop-up ads of existence. You're holding your phone on a balcony and your mind whispers, "Imagine dropping it." You're driving and your mind goes, "Imagine swerving." You're chopping onions and your brain says, "What if you throw it like a ninja star?" You didn't order any of these. Your mind just likes running simulations you never asked for. This is where MindOS comes in, the glitchy operating system inside your skull. You didn't design it, you didn't install it. It came preloaded with apps like overthink.exe, memoryleak.dll, selfcritic.ai, anxiety, autoupdate.pkg, and why did it say that.zip, recurring every night at 1:13 a.m. Here's the thing, you're not the programmer, you're barely the user. MindOS has background processes you can't see. It decides when to surface old memories. It decides when to drop intrusive thoughts. It decides when to generate sudden emotions before the conscious you even arrives. Now, here's the scary scientifically verified part. Neuroscience discovered something called the readiness potential. Your brain begins preparing actions before you consciously decide them, meaning you're not the one initiating the decisions, you're the one announcing them. The brain acts, you narrate. You're basically the spokesperson reading a script you didn't write. The subconscious does the heavy lifting and the conscious mind steps in after yes, we fully planned that. Let's be real, your emotions often hit first anyway. A smell triggers a memory. A song triggers nostalgia. A face triggers recognition. Your body reacts long before you understand why. So who's the thinker here? And then there's the default mode network, your brain's idle mode. When you're not focusing, your mind becomes louder, not quieter. It starts replaying regrets, running imaginary conversations, building alternate futures, questioning your identity, and browsing the entire mental archive for no reason. You don't daydream because you're messy. Your brain daydreams because that's its default state. Thoughts come from everywhere. Your past, your biology, your habits, your fears, your memories, your hormones, your culture, your environment, your random sensory inputs, your half-forgotten dreams. It's a chaotic soup. You're not stirring it, you're watching it bubble. And here's the big twist, the thing that flips the whole conversation. You don't control the appearance of thoughts. You control your relationship to them. Try forcing a thought. Try not to think of a purple elephant. You failed, instantly. A purple elephant moonwalked into your mind wearing tiny boots. That proves something colossal. You're not the generator of thoughts. You're the observer of them. This is where ancient philosophy and modern neuroscience unexpectedly shake hands. Philosophers kept asking, what is the self? Who is the thinker? What does it mean to think? Neuroscientists said, your brain is an unpredictable weather system. Enjoy. Because that's exactly what thoughts are. Weather patterns drifting across the sky of your awareness. Some are gentle. Some are stormy. Some are random shapes that make no sense, like a confused giraffe contemplating taxes. Some are painful. Some are beautiful. Some appear and disappear so fast you barely catch them. But they all have one thing in common. None of them stay. Because, here comes the core truth, you are not the thoughts. You are the sky. The thoughts move. You remain. The clouds change. The sky doesn't. The weather gets wild. The sky stays open. That's the real twist. The real secret. The real peace behind the chaos. You are not responsible for every strange, chaotic, intrusive, pointless, emotional, or dramatic thought that pops into your mind. You didn't choose them. You didn't create them. They're not you. A thought is not a command. A thought is not a prophecy. A thought is not a truth. A thought is not your identity. It's just weather. You don't need to stop the storm. You just need to stop arguing with the clouds. So next time your brain sends you something ridiculous, a random fear, a weird image, an imaginary argument, a sudden what if, don't wrestle with it. Just notice it. Let it pass. Let it drift like a cloud crossing a wide blue sky. Because that sky, that openness, that awareness, that's you. That's the part nothing can damage, nothing can stain, nothing can break. And take a moment here. Seriously, let that sink in. Notice what your mind is doing right now. You're watching a thought about thoughts. You're the witness, not the noise, the space behind it. If that idea made your brain feel 1 size larger and 3 ounces lighter, then gently tap that button the same way your mind drops random thoughts into your head, suddenly, softly, and for no reason at all.